Swagged out, familiar, we bringing them gas out. I still got some racks stuffed in the trap house. Off the 42, I'm blowing her back out. I'm back out. Bullshit, spin back with a full clip. They say
Okay, I'm late. I'm very late. As you see by the title, I'm pretty sure all of y'all, everybody in y'all mama has already read this book. But I just finished it. And I have a lot of thoughts. Not necessarily about the book itself, but what I read online and the behavior circling this book is absolutely ridiculous, okay? But we're going to talk about the book first, all right? So, if I haven't already mentioned it, From Blood and Ash was my first book review ever. I filmed that review years ago, and I lost the footage, found it, put it out finally. So that's why that shit was a mess. But as y'all, I've mentioned in other videos, Cass is my number one. That is my man. If it's not Hades, it's Cass. That man is, we like this, okay? We go together real bad. I want me a Cass. So I had The War of Two Queens since it came out. Like, since the very day it dropped, I bought it and I had it and I was microdosing that book. Like, I barely finished it yesterday because I had watched Queen Charlotte and I was, I was ugly crying. And I was like, I want something magical. There's no correlation between Queen Charlotte and The War of Two Queens besides the fact that there's like royalty and all that kind of shit going on. But anyway, I needed to feel something. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna dive back into this book and see what happens. Because like, if you're a reader, you gotta be in a mood for certain books, certain genres. And so like, I treat my books like I treat food. Like, when I'm craving this, I go get this. So when I'm craving this kind of man, I go to this kind of book. And so I was craving Cass, and I missed him. So I was like, I need to see what happens, right? So I stopped at the part, before I like left the book on the shelf. I stopped at the part where she had a dream about him again, and he kind of like masked how he was looking so that she wouldn't feel bad, like seeing him super emaciated and stuff. And she ended up asking Kieran to feed. We're starting already, okay? We're starting already. This is gonna be the point where I start this discussion, right? Okay, so after I read the book, right, I love the ending. The ending had my blood pressure like hella raised. I was hella stressed. Like, I was like, what's gonna happen? I know this is not where it ends. And so then I looked it up, and then Jennifer said we get another book in July. And I'm like, damn, Jennifer, like, my heart can't take it. Like, when is it gonna be over? Anyway, so I'm a Tumblr girl, if you didn't know. Like, From Blood and Ash, 4. I keep saying 4. Anyway, From Blood and Ash is what made me kind of like become obsessed with romance novels again. Because I'm a fanfic girly. I lived on fan fiction my whole life. And so my best friend recommended me this book, and I loved it. And she kind of like shelved it because like for her it was too slow, the first book. And I get that. The first 2-3 books were very heavy on the romance of it all. And then this book was heavy on the plot and like the situations. And so it was, I understand why people did not like the book or would not like this series, because I didn't think anybody gave a fuck about this series, to be honest. Like, I thought like this was just gonna be a book for me. The series was just gonna be for me because I didn't really see too much talk about it aside from like way back in the day when the first book came out and people liked it. I love the series. I felt like it was a perfect mix of story and romance because there is a large world. You gotta have the mind to read this book. Like, it's not just I'm gonna just read it for fun. Like, no, it's a lot of plot. It's a lot of connections and little Easter eggs that you need to pay attention to, plot twists you need to pay attention to get through it. So you really got to be in the right headspace to ingest this book. So I know it's not for everybody. When I got to the third book, I could see why people would be like, I hated this book. Not because of the writing, but simply because of how much plot and how much story between the romance. Like, some people are just horny and they want to get to it. But it was a lot of shit going on. It was a lot of emotion, a lot of stress, a lot of high intensity scenes. And then there was romance, and then there was like other stuff. So I can see, because the first 3 books were just like Poppy and Cass were together all the time. But that's not. Anyway, I get on Tumblr because those are my people. I feel like people on Tumblr, if you look in the right places, at least where I be at, it's people with brain cells. You get on Twitter, not a brain cell in sight. You get on Goodreads, not a damn brain cell in sight. So I'm looking up the World 2 Queens. I'm liking what I'm seeing. A lot of people have the same kind of like, they have the same thoughts about the book and about, you know, the joining and all the other shit that went on as I do. Like, we are agreeing. We are here with it, right? And then I get to this dumbass post. And see, on Tumblr is not Twitter. Like, on Twitter, you're going to see 15,000 stupid-ass people before you see a smart person. And so, like, you're more inclined to go back and forth on Twitter. But on Tumblr, you got to let bitches be stupid and you just block them. So before I blocked them, because I seen the stupid shit they wrote, I had to just read what they said first. Prepare yourself. This person talked about how Jennifer was perpetuating misogyny and the harmful idea that men and women can't just be friends. She's talking about Poppy and Kieran, by the way. We're going to just sit with that for a second. Think about, if you've read the book, think about all the male characters in the book that are devoted to Poppy, that are friends with her even. Think about it. And then think about the fact that Kieran is the royal advisor. She's quite literally bonded to him. He's been best friends with her husband for hundreds of years. She says that there was emotional cheating and that the whole time Kaz was locked up being starved and beaten and getting his finger cut off, that Poppy and Kieran were being lovey-dovey and cheating. I'm pretty sure when you guys watch book reviews online, people are going to be very nice. People are going to be very nice. I'm not that person. And before, I should have said this at the beginning. I'm a strong believer in nuance, okay? Like, whenever I go into things, before I take a stance, I hear both sides. I hear the situation. I understand things a different way. I'm a Libra, okay? So I leave room for nuance always. There's always nuance to situations. Everything is not always one way, right? But I just find it very hard to believe that these are grown-ass women. Mind you, I seen somebody posted the Facebook posts, and the fact that Jennifer had to write a long-ass thing asking people not to send her death threats and hate mail and all kind of evil, horrible messages simply because y'all didn't like the book. And I just find it hard to believe. You bitches are grown. You have a child. You have children, husbands, dogs, mortgages. And you had enough time to sit on Facebook, to sit on Goodreads, to log into your Tumblr account and send hate mail to an author simply because you cannot fucking read. That is absolutely ridiculous. This woman talked about, Jennifer, she talked about how reading and writing these stories was her escape. And y'all have started to make it not fun because you decided to get into her messages, her personal messages, and be hateful because you can't fucking read and you can't understand the concept of platonic intimacy. You are the very person that you're describing who does not understand the fact that men and women cannot be friends. She understands it perfectly fine. And y'all sit up here trying to talk about it's the writing. There was nothing wrong with her writing. In fact, she covered the topic of platonic intimacy and the fact that, we'll get into that when we talk about the joining, but she covered that whole topic beautifully, masterfully even. There was nothing about their relationship prior to the joining that ever felt like they were cheating. He's the royal advisor. Kaz is his best friend. Why wouldn't he check on her, protect her even? It's his job. If she has a plan for this war, mind you, these are fictional characters who have magic and they're in the middle of a war. You think she's sitting here like, oh my God, I want to get with Kieran so bad. They're literally bonded to each other. So if she's having a plan on how to get her husband free, she's going to talk to the royal advisor. The whole plot of the book since the beginning was she turns to him all the time for questions, for things that she doesn't understand. That's their relationship. And then y'all had the audacity before to get mad that she was asking him questions all the time. So now that she's leaning on him, now that her husband is gone and possibly dying, how dare he rub her back? How dare he sleep next to her when she's having a nightmare about her husband? They didn't kiss. He gave her okay, let me back up a little bit. So I stopped at the part, when I first started reading this book again, I stopped at the part where she needed to feed, right? And as we know from, you know, the prior books, when they feed, at least when she's with her husband, it can get sensual, right? She didn't know. She's never fed from anyone other than Cass, right? So when she feeds from Kieran is like, I didn't expect you to ask me. I thought you were going to be uncomfortable with it, but I'm very glad that you asked me. I will make sure that you feel safe. Whatever you need, everything is on your terms, okay? When she fed from Kieran, it did not get sensual. It did not, okay? And so he made her feel safe in asking, and she already felt enough trust with him to ask, right? So that scene alone kind of already establishes the level of respect that he has for her and how protective he is of her anyway, because it was just an unspoken thing. While Castile is gone, Kaz is to be an advisor to her and to take care of her and make sure that she is mentally well, because she's not going to go talk to anybody else in her camp about it. She's not going to go to Reaver and be like, hey Reaver, I need to talk about my feelings. She's not going to do that. Her and Cass already have an established, not Cass, her and Kieran already have an established bond, aside from the fact that they're literally bonded, right? So we go through the book, and there's nothing about their interactions that scream, I'm flirting. Have y'all never held y'all friend's hand? They didn't hold hands, but this is just an example. Do y'all not hug your friends? If your friend is crying, do you not go, oh, it's okay? Like, do you not have friends? Like, do you bitches not, like, I'm so confused. Are men and women not allowed to interact with each other on a platonic level? Because what the fuck were you reading? Because what I was reading was a lot different from what you were reading. Anyway, Jennifer perpetuated the idea that men and women can't be friends, but you're mad that a man caressed a woman's back, wiped her tears a few times, and now they're cheating. Wow. Interesting. That's so crazy. Never experienced that, you know? When you don't get hugged at home, when you don't have no friends, when all you know is whatever the fuck anyway. So I read that post and I just had to sit there. I looked at the replies. I did. I shouldn't have, but I did. It was a lot of other stupid motherfuckers up in there too. And then I read a very smart post. And there were people trying to argue with her, or them. I'm sorry. I don't know who was running that account, but they were really trying to argue that it was Jennifer's writing, that she was not clear, that they were not a throuple. They're not a fucking throuple. We're talking about after the joining. So, yada, yada, yada. You read the book. They get to the joining part. Y'all know why they have to do the joining. Back in the day, when I first read this series, I didn't know if I wanted the joining to happen. I was indifferent about it, but I was leaning more to, I don't know if I want that, right? I seen the fan art. I was like, I don't know. When the joining happened, I read the scene about 4 times. Not because, not for any nefarious reasons, but simply because I didn't understand it. There was a lot of limbs. There were a lot of people. There was a lot of things happening. I needed to know who was who was doing what. So I had to read it over and over so I can really understand what was going on. And Poppy even says she could have had both of them, but she didn't. I was thinking, she finna get double stuffed and it's gonna be something wild. But Jennifer really approached this, and I know this is something that you weirdos cannot understand, but I'm explaining to you, right? Jennifer perfectly described in that scene the fact that you can have an intimate sexual relationship with somebody and it not be romantic. Mind you, these are fictional fucking characters, right? Fictional characters, and they're doing a ritual. They're literally doing magic. And you guys are talking about a damn throuple. They're trying to save this man's life, right? They're trying to save this man's life. And y'all talking about some, oh, I hated it. It was... Jennifer covered that perfectly, in my opinion. Because I understood the concept that romantic attraction and sexual attraction are not mutually exclusive. I understood this at the age of 12 years old, right? I identify as a demisexual person, and I'm also demi-romantic. So, therefore, the concept of doing something with somebody that I'm not, A, either in love with, or B, in certain circumstances, have a deep established bond to where I trust this person, I wouldn't even think of my mind going there, right? So, for most people, they don't understand. They think that to have sex with somebody, aside from, the casual situation, that it has to mean something. They're doing a ritual, mind you. And it was strongly reinforced in even before the joining even happened. They made sure that everything was on Poppy's terms. Whatever you want to happen will happen. Whatever you don't want to happen won't happen. It's 100% about her, what she wanted to do, what she didn't want to do, right? She felt comfortable enough in that situation to cross that line a little bit. Mind you, he never put anything in her. Kieran and her, none of that didn't happen, right? It was some other things that happened, but it wasn't that. So, that scene was strictly about her. If you read it again and again, like I did, it was strictly about her. So, even after that, they were more focused on her and how she felt than anything else. And so, after, they were not acting like a throuple. They were doing exactly what they did prior to that shit happening. They were still besties. Mind you, him and Cass have been friends for hundreds of years. They already established that the love that they have for each other is a soulmate connection. Not friendship, not familial, not romantic, but they're literally soulmates. That they have been together, they have been like this, right? Poppy is Cass's heartmate. So they going to the bone with it, right? Like, they are going all the way until the last breaths with it. And Poppy, she said, if he finds somebody that he loves so much and he wants to spend the rest of his life with, if he has a heartmate, she will do the joining again just for them. So what part of that gives we're about to be in a polyamorous relationship? I'll wait. Y'all was in this woman's DMs harassing her because you can't fucking understand the fact that people can be intimate with each other during a ritual in a fictional book, briefly, because of magic. Like, you see how ridiculous that shit sounds? Y'all are sending this woman hate mail for some shit like that. Cass would not let anybody else touch that woman. He would not trust anybody else with that woman. And the reason they were doing that was not because they were just being horny demons. Like, they literally were doing a ritual. They were drinking each other's blood. Did they not keep being friends after that? You act like they was making out every time they got a chance after that shit happened. No. Kieran was continuing to be the friend to both of them that he was. He's bonded to Poppy. Y'all act like Kieran was stealing glances and being all super longing looking at Poppy afterwards. No. And even during the scene, both of them, well, Kaz is always like bricked up about his shorty, and that's what I love about him. But Kieran was more looking at her. She's literally a god. So he was looking at her respectfully. He was looking at her more reverently, like she's literally divine. Not in a romantic way, not in a Freaky Friday way. He was looking at her in awe, as both of them were, like in complete adoration. That's what she kept saying. Like when she looked at them, that she didn't feel, you know, any type of way. She just felt nothing but adoration from both of them, because this was a serious thing that they were doing. Y'all really overreacted, because you cannot separate platonic intimacy. You can't comprehend the fact that two people can engage in a mild, very mild sexual act and not be romantically attracted to each other or have any remnants of romance afterwards. And that is ridiculous, because y'all are too damn old for that. If I could understand that shit at 12 years old, y'all is in y'all 30s and 40s and late 20s, and y'all can't comprehend that shit. It's fucking ridiculous. There should have never been a reason for you to go into that lady's messages acting a damn plumb fool because you can't read and you can't comprehend that shit. Relationships are not linear. Everybody that kisses does not have to end up together. Anybody that does it with each other does not have to end up with each other. Everybody that does a joining in a magical situation for a ritual does not mean that they are a throuple. When you seen them afterwards, they was not all making out. They was not all acting like they was together. They were just friends. Like they were before. Kieran, protective over her, the same way he was before. Kaz, loving his best friend, the same way they were before. I don't understand. Like, how is this hard to comprehend? They have a level of intimacy that y'all wish y'all had. Like, like I said, do y'all not hug y'all fucking friends? I don't understand. So, when I read that, I knew I had to make this video. It is March 13th. Not March, fuck. May 13th, 14th. And I had so many other videos to put out before this, but I'm going to put this video out next week, because I already got a video coming out this week. Anyway, I think it's disgusting. And even if you didn't like the book, even if there was something wrong with the writing, which there wasn't, like, she articulated everything, every emotion that needed to be articulated perfectly fine. Even if you did disagree, there is no reason that you should be going into anybody's DMs, anybody's messages, and messaging them craziness because you disagree. Dislike the book and move the fuck on. Why are you making 6,000 posts about it? It does not make any damn sense. Y'all are adults. Y'all are probably older than me. Okay? It doesn't... I'm just disgusted. I didn't even get on Goodreads, because I know if I would have got on Goodreads and seen them fucking messages and them posts, I would have been pissed off. Because I already get on Goodreads and I see a bunch of stupidness every single time I get on there, because y'all just cannot read. Y'all cannot comprehend beyond beyond your limited little brains that you have. Your little pea brains, the two marbles bouncing around in your damn heads. Y'all cannot comprehend beyond that. So then you project that into people's comment sections and you make it their problem and you want to blame the writing when really you're just fucking stupid. That's what it is. You're just dumb. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. If you were one of them people who did all of that, the book was phenomenal. Okay? The book was phenomenal. I did post. I was like, damn, Jennifer, like, when is we gonna be done? Not because I hated the book, but because that shit was high. High intensity. I was stressed out for most of the book. I cannot wait to see how it ends. And also, hold on, let me see how much time I got. Okay, I'm not gonna be here too long, but listen, I seen Jennifer post on Instagram that Amazon is picking up the series, so we might get a live action. And let me just say, if anybody send this video to Jennifer real quick, tell her y'all need to call me. Okay, I'm in LA. Call me. I will help y'all with the casting because I refuse to let y'all ruin it. This is one of my favorite book series. Okay, I refuse to let y'all ruin this for me. I want everybody casted perfectly. Okay, I don't give a damn. I don't care. I want this to be casted perfectly. I need Cass to be perfect, okay? I need Reaver to be perfect. I need Kieran to be perfect. Now, when I think Kieran, I think of Rome Flynn. But if you want to get somebody, else, just, bro. If you want to get somebody else, just hit me up. We'll go through it together because I refuse to let y'all ruin this for me. And then I need y'all to call the Game of Thrones people, okay? Call the Game of Thrones people. Tell them that they need to help with this situation because I need Game of Thrones level production. I need everything to go right. I need the Blood Queen. I need her, the Red Queen, whatever her fucking name is. I need her to be snatched. She needs to look good and evil. I want to hate her, but also think, oh, I like that outfit, okay? That's what I really want. I need Tawny to be cute. Tawny, in my head, she's black, right? She's black. I seen people trying to whitewash Kieran. Kieran is a black man. Vanetta is a black woman. Okay, keep it together. I need their skin to be perfect. I don't want. Don't play with me, okay? And y'all better not get Cass up there and Cass be some pale white man. Cass is white maybe, but he's tan. Okay, he's tan. I'm thinking like olive skin. When I see him drawn, he needs to be olive skin. I don't give a damn Poppy size. Y'all be like, oh, Poppy's fat. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that, okay? Because when I read books, Poppy is whatever she look like in my head. I'm Poppy at this point. When I read a book, I don't care what the description is. I'm her. So I don't care what Poppy look like as long as she know how to act. That's all we worried about. But y'all better get my boys correct. I don't want to be disappointed, okay? And y'all stay disappointed. Do y'all see that Lilo and Stitch shit? I don't want none of that. I don't want that. I don't want y'all disappointing me like that. Everybody needs to be on their P's and Q's. Everybody needs to get serious, okay? Tap into your mental telepathy and call me. Tell me what you thinking before y'all put it out, and I will tell y'all if that's a good choice or not, okay? But Amazon, don't fuck this up, okay? I don't know who I need to contact. Don't fuck this up. Because y'all stay fucking up casting. Y'all did good. Wasn't Swarm on Amazon? Y'all did great with Swarm. Swarm was beautiful, okay? Don't mess this up for me. I'm so serious. Cass, y'all need to look at the reference pictures. People have been drawing Cass for 3 years, okay? Y'all need to look at them reference pictures of Castile, and y'all need to make sure that he's perfect. And I want the bonus red pearl scene, okay? I don't want no skips, cuts. I don't want no jumps, because I just sat through Beautiful Disaster and that shit was awful. And I think Amazon has something to do with that too. I'm not sure. But I need everybody to be serious. Get your shit together. And y'all need to put together a beautiful production. And don't take no shortcuts. I don't want no detail. Okay? That's all I gotta say. Anyway, if y'all want to keep up with me, I'm probably forgetting to say a whole bunch of stuff about this book, about this series, about my experience with this. But I'll come back in July after I finish that book and we'll talk about it. Anyway, subscribe to be along for the ride. I do be on Twitch. We do movie nights. We watch terrible movies on Mondays and sometimes on Wednesdays. So if y'all want to do that, go below. Thank you, Jennifer, for putting your all into the series. I haven't read the other one about the other ones. Whoever. I'm gonna read it maybe. Okay. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Don't be leaving no hate comments on people's shit no more, okay? That brings you bad energy. And I hope everybody that did that to Jennifer, I hope it comes back to you tenfold. And I hope you end up crying in your closet, shaking and crying because you decided to do that stupid ass shit, okay? Okay, bye.